Hey, greetings folks, Performance Reviews, where I give you the review from the technician's point of view. And today I want to talk about Kirby machines and why they may or may not turn on. And we're going to solve that problem. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit subscribe and like. That helps us out a whole lot. If you really love what we're doing, feel free to post this in your favorite vacuum group. So I have a Kirby Switch here, and we're going to be replacing this under warranty. But the Kirby Switch and the Kirby cord have exactly the same symptoms if you're having problems. Now, most of these Kirbys are not going to need new motors when they have no power, so I'm just ruling that out of experience, but it is possible. The first part of this video, we're going to do 3 steps of troubleshooting, and then later you're going to see some footage, some top-down footage and close-ups as well. So let me show you how I eliminate that it wasn't a cord. Real quick, there's 2 things we're going to do. I'm going to pull this off, and you'll notice the cord is screwed in right here. So we're going to quickly pull that off, and it's just one T25, and right there, flathead screwdriver, and that just wedges off right there. Boop, that falls off. And now we have the Kirby cord. This plug is a universal NEMA standard. I don't remember the exact NEMA standard. But it is a universal plug, so we're just going to try that by simply plugging in another cord. And again, it starts and then it turns off because those switch contacts are out. So now we've ruled out the cord by plugging in another cord. Simple. Now, here's how I want to rule out the motor or the carbon brushes. I'm going to pull the head off. And hopefully you have not thrown your accessories away. You have something that looks like this. This is the blower accessory. You're going to put this on, and now we are connected to the high-speed part of the switch. And you'll see it kind of turn on and flicker. So that's how I've eliminated that. So there is our troubleshooting for those who don't understand what's going on there. So now we're going to unplug, and we're going to just strip the machine down to the switch. This does involve taking the motor out. I recommend you bring this to your local vacuum store. I don't recommend that you do this yourself. It is a lot to do. If you're the type of person who works on cars every day or you're mechanically inclined, go ahead and give it a shot. But again, I would recommend you just bring it and pay somebody to do this. And if it's under warranty like this machine, it doesn't cost you a dime. So let's go ahead and start stripping this machine out. So first thing we're going to do is unplug it, and we're going to pull the handle and the cord off as well. And these are T15. And the nice thing about Kirby's is they're nice to work on because all the screws are Torx. They're really easy to get to. There are a lot of different size screws. Keep that in mind. So we're just going to pull this off. I'm going to set that handle aside. It's of no use to us right now. So now we have, so next, again, just a T25 in the rear. I'm going to pull that, set that aside. And now we've exposed the guts of the machine. We're just going to do more T25s. I do have a video on a detailed strip of a Generation Series Kirby. I'll link that below if you really need that. Alright, so now we've stripped out more parts of the Kirby. I'm going to pull that out. It just lifts out. And now the switch, you can see again, buried in here. So first thing we're going to do is go to the bottom side of the Kirby, and we're going to pop it in drive. That's important. So there are the transmission screws. And we're going for the motor screws. And a lot of these screws are different. This is the motor screw, this is the transmission screw. So they do look different, but if you're unsure, draw yourself a picture, keep track of where these things go, because a lot of them are not interchangeable. Next, we have a Phillips screw. I like to just get this out of the way before I forget. And they're not all going to have a screw here. Some of them do, some of them don't. Kirby is very inconsistent with some of this stuff. So we're going to go to the front of the machine. There's 2 screws right there. Do not knock the other screws out. And also, you probably want an impact gun for that. You don't try and do that by hand. It's too much. So the transmission will come out. I have a whole video on the transmission, the maintenance that needs to be done with that. So this is going to come out. All the wires are labeled, so keep that in mind. But if you, again, you don't know where they are, here's, the video showing that. So we're going to pull the top lead wire out, and wait to pull the bottom one out. Your flathead will go in here, and this vent will come out. A lot of times this is dirty. I recommend cleaning it. There's 2 more screws here. We now have the frame of the Kirby. And again, this is the point where we have to check for expendables and maintenance, because there are a lot of known design issues with the Kirby, one of which is the gasket. So you're going to take a flashlight and you're going to see if anything is showing through the gap here. There is not, which means this is actually still sealed, which is rare. You can see also though where dust has been leaking, where the other seal is. Again, this bearing plate seal is just one of those parts that's like now out of spec with Kirby, so there's nothing really you can do about that. So let's get to the switch. Set that aside. So the switch here, there's 1 Phillips screw. I'm going to pull 1 Phillips screw out. And next we're going to take our flathead screwdriver, and in between the switch and this, you're just going to give it a twist. And we have now pulled the switch and the light assembly apart. Now here is where things are a little bit weird. You can see there are some really finite contacts here. These bend easy. Be very careful putting the new switch in. So we're going to grab the new switch, and we're just going to line up the wires so that they go in the same place. There's no questions about that. And next, we are going to, again, we are going to slide the switch in, being mindful of these contacts. And everything kind of slides. You can see that there is just points, so we're going to push that in. Again, you're going to feel it go in if you're doing it right. Alright, that clicked into place. So once it's clicked into place, now we can put the 1 screw back. Alright, so now the switch has been officially changed. There will be a wire or sometimes a piece of stamped sheet metal. Again, they've changed over the years. We're dealing with over 30 years of production, so don't be alarmed if something looks a little different. And this is going to go back, and you want to do this now, not later. If you forget this, you're gonna hate yourself later. So I'm gonna real quick do the customer a solid favor, and I'm going to just wipe where the motor's going to go. I'm going to just wipe this gasket down in an attempt to make it clean when we put it back. Alright, so now comes the weird part. We've taken everything out of the machine. I've showed you that. We are now going to put this attached just electrically. We're not actually going to physically screw anything in. And the reason for that is it's much easier to do now than when it's in the machine, though it's not impossible in the machine. So we got 2 contacts here. And again, everything's going to kind of have a memory. And make sure you put the wires on the outside of this, not on the inside. You don't want the gear rubbing on the wires, which I see people do when they work on their machines. Now this last wire, this lower wire down here, it is a pain to put in. So you got to get it straight, you got to get it lined up. It's going to go in, it's going to feel like it's pushed in. You want to take a screwdriver, just give it a quick nudge, make sure it's engaged all the way. So now these are together as a pack. And I've put the gasket back on, I've wiped it off. You're sliding this into the machine, by the way. You'll see there's a point on the bottom of the switch right here that interacts with the frame of the Kirby. You have to make sure that that is engaged. So you're going to push that in. You're going to wiggle it about until everything feels like it's in its home. In this case, it is definitely in its home. So now comes kind of the weird part. So the first screws I like to put in are the 2 long Torx screws. We're just going to loosely put them in. So everything's loose. Again, the motor's not being held in place yet. We're going to turn the machine over. We're going to identify these screws that came out of here. They have a very coarse machine thread. They're very coarse sheet metal. We're going to put those in first. All right. Next, we're going to take out the long screws. Just loose. Again, this is why we didn't tighten them. And just set this here for a second. Now, again, there may or may not be a wire, a grounding wire around these. These ones that have the washer in, it is time for them to go in. So the next thing is our vent. That is going to slide in, and you're going to feel a click. There we go. It's clicked. Again, this has its own weird screw. You have a Phillips screw there. That's that. So now I like to just check to make sure the light and everything is still attached, which it is. Excellent. And now we can actually torque these 2 big bad screws down. All right, so those are the screws that are going into metal and that require a bit of torque. Next, we're going to be putting screws back that are very delicate. This frame is plastic, and as you can see, it has some grommets in it. They have a tendency to strip quite a bit. I really don't like them. They're really fragile, so that's why I'm going to use this gun, which has a torque wrench kind of built in. All right, so transmission time. I would blow this out with compressed air if this was coming in for a service, but that's generally what you want to do. This requires grease. Again, go check out my whole video on that. So we're going to put the transmission in. Be mindful of the switch lever. Again, it must be in drive to clear. And then now, again, you're just going to kind of finagle things. With the transmission halfway out, you want to put the switch lever around the gear. And again, we're going to put the gear and the belt for the gear drive in there, and that just kind of requires, again, a little bit of finagling. If you've done it a few times, it's no problem, but I do see a lot of new techs and people who haven't done this before. You will struggle with this. Don't feel discouraged. It's okay. So this is in. Put this around here, just like so. Next, you have the transmission actuator arm, and that, again, has to be engaged here. Older versions, this is a little bit different shape, but just, again, make sure that's engaged. which it is. And next, I like to put the switch and the pedal kind of back together as one. Test it, good. Now, turn the machine back down to its upside down, and we are going to put the transmission screws back in. Again, don't over torque those. The Kirby cover now goes on. Again, you'll identify there's some special screws that go in the front here over this cover. Once those are in, you can put your back screws in. Before you put your back screws in, you want to pinch the bumper. Next, let's just do the fascia. You're going to see one odd man screw out going there. He does not take very much torque at all. Again, don't over torque anything. So now we're going to connect the power cord. We're going to connect the power cord holder, which just kind of wiggles its way in there. And next, the last T15s that hold the power cord in place. Like so. So now, let's see if the switch worked. Again, putting the bag in place properly, actuating the new switch. That worked out very well. We can now put the cleaner head on, check that. All right. Well, I hope that helped you at least diagnose your Kirby and bring it to a service center. If not, fix it if you're a DIYer. Thanks for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you really liked what we're doing, check out our Patreon. Support like that helps make this sort of stuff happen. And have yourself a fantastic day.